Today, Mahomet Library is joining us, and Rebecca Strom has brought us 5 nonfiction books that are a great introduction to potential new hobbies. Welcome back to CI Living.
Thanks so much for having me.
I like that you chose these for the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
New year, new hobbies,
New year,
right?
new hobbies. Exactly right, yeah.
I like that. So what did you bring for us?
So I thought I'd start out first with The Complete Book of Pickleball by Kurt Brungart. As we know, during the pandemic, pickleball really exploded as like a trendy hobby, and a lot of people have gotten into it. So this is a brand new title. It's a really great guide for how to kind of avoid injury when you're playing pickleball, how to build up your stamina, as well as just techniques and skill building for the game. So it's great for casual players as well as people who are maybe playing competitively, all levels.
Yeah, pickleball has become so popular. Yeah. Do you play pickleball?
I did in high school in PE, and I was really good at it.
Yes. I also played in PE, but I don't remember being particularly good or bad, and I actually don't remember a lot of the rules. Every time I think pickleball, I default to like tennis rules.
Yeah, it's definitely a little bit different, but I always enjoyed it in school, so.
Nice, excellent. Well, what's next?
So the next one is Musical Theater Acting by J.V. Mercanti. And I picked this one because we have a really thriving theater scene here in Champaign-Urbana with a lot of great local theater companies, and I thought, you know, maybe some viewers are looking to get involved in that, or, you know, have maybe always wanted to audition but were kind of too nervous. And so this is a really great starting guide for people who, you know, want to learn more about how to analyze a character, how to analyze a script, or even how to prepare for an audition. It really does give you those basics, and it is just great for those who are just getting started, or people who even have a little experience already.
I like that very much. So this is musical theater acting. Yep. Wonderful. It reminds me of all of the textbooks because I went to a conservatory. I know you have a theater background as well.
Yes, it's a little bit more approachable than like an acting textbook, but it definitely has that feel to it a little bit. Yeah.
For sure. And what's our next hobby book?
So I know another pandemic hobby that a lot of people picked up was baking and bread making. So I thought I'd bring this one in. It's called Let's Bake Bread, and it's actually a follow-up to the author's previous book, which was called Bread Baking for Beginners. But this time around, she's focusing on the best ways to make bread making a really family-oriented activity. Okay. So how to bake with kids and how to make it an activity that the whole family can enjoy together. So it gives you a lot of tips and tricks for that, as well as some really great historical and scientific information. So it's educational not just for the kids, but for the adults as well.
I like that, and I feel like it's something that you can either just stir and put it in a bread maker and it does it automatically, but I have friends that have gotten really into sourdough starters and how to use different things, and so that looks like a really good, that's almost textbook size, but I bet it's an easy read.
Yes, a lot of good pictures of food too. So.
Yes, so you'll read it and get hungry.
Yes.
Nice, and what about this one?
All right, so this one is called The Ultimate Guide to iPhone Photography, and the thinking behind this one was like, okay, I feel like some people may have gotten like new iPhones for Christmas, and now they're thinking like, okay, how do I use all these cool settings on my new phone, and how do I make my pictures really stand out? So this gives you really basic, easy to understand tutorials on how to make your photos on your iPhone really pop, and I think it would really be good for like bloggers or for small business owners who are really looking to find ways to make their content really stand out in the like sea of pictures and everything. So it's a really great handbook for just learning how to take really great pictures on your phone.
And I feel like sometimes kids know more about this stuff than we do, because I don't know if they just play with it or they're on it.
Naturals.
Yeah, my nieces are constantly like, oh, well, you know, if you put it in portrait mode and take it from this, and I'm like, how do you know this? You're 9.
Yeah, well, you can learn all about it if you check out the book.
Read the book. Next time, I'll have to teach them.
There you go.
I'll read the book and then teach them
something. Learn a couple things,
There you go. And what about this one?
All right, so this last one is called Write Fearless, Edit Smart, Get Published by Lisa Magnum. And I think this is really an ideal handbook for aspiring authors who are looking into maybe looking at publishing their work. It covers basically the whole writing process from, that spark of an idea to editing and, making your way through all the nitty-gritty details, and then, that big step into how to query for a publisher and, and all of that. It can feel really overwhelming as a writer, but having a really simple, breakdown of each of those steps can be really, really really good. So I thought, maybe there are some people who always, wanted to write a book who might be interested in something like that.
And I feel like a good way to start might even be, if you're a journaler, to look through some like prompted journals, because I know sometimes coming up with that first idea is the hardest part. Or sitting down and having writer's block. So some of those conversation startery things.
For me, it's always like the editing process, I feel like, is hard. I actually was a creative writing major in undergrad, so that's like my passion a little bit. But you know, for me, it's always the editing is really the tricky part. So having something that kind of sits you down and explains that is really nice.
Very good. Yeah, and I feel like with something like that, you just sort of have to find what the part is that you need the most help with, and then get a resource to learn how to do it.
Yeah.
That's great. And are there any events coming up at the library?
Yeah, so we just actually started up our winter/spring program schedule, so we're back at it with lots of events coming up. I wanted to highlight two in particular. The first is a lotus flower craft. It's presented in collaboration with the Korean Spirit and Culture Promotion Project. And registration is required for this, but we still have spots available. It's for adults. And basically, they're going to get to make this really cool lotus lantern. And so it's like it's a craft project, but it's like a hybrid presentation. So the presenters will be on Zoom, but then we'll also meet at the library and do it all together. So it's going to be a really cool cultural craft that I think a lot of people will have a lot of fun with.
I like that. Yeah. And I know last time you were here, you talked a little bit about a stuffed animal sleepover. How did that go?
So it was so much fun. We had a blast. The animals were very mischievous.
Of course.
I fell asleep at one point.
Uh-oh. What did they do to you this year?
The animals sprayed shaving cream all over my face.
Oh, no.
And it got into my ears and into my eyes. It was,
a lot to wash off.
Yes, it was quite the mess. So they had a great time.
Nice. And is there one more event this month?
So speaking of hobbies, we have a program that I've run in the past for kids who are really interested in theater. It's called Acting Out. And basically it's a theater skills workshop. We're doing 3 different sessions. So one will be for K through 3, and then the next one will be for 4th through 6th graders, and then the last one will be for teens. And we're just going to go over some of the theater basics and interpreting a script and finding your character and all that kind of stuff. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Registration is required, but there still are spots available.
That's great. So there is a lot of activities that you can participate in, and thank you again for bringing all these books. I really liked the selection this month.
Thanks so much for having me.
Anytime. You're welcome here anytime. And if you want to learn more about any of these events, you can visit us on the web at ciliving.tv.